Hi lovely people, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for your support. Thank you for stopping by. If this is your first time, kindly help us by hitting on that red icon to subscribe. Also be the first to be notified whenever I upload a new video. So now today's class we shall be looking at how to make a buobuo kaftan gown with shoulder pleats. Okay, looking at your screen you will see the picture of the dress that we are about to make now. So here I have my fabric folded into two, the front and the back. Okay, it is not a must that the seam will be together. You can decide to just open it up and make a stitch at the shoulder line, but for this tutorial I think I will prefer that the shoulder will be this way. Okay, I wouldn't want to sew at the shoulder line. So the first thing to do is to determine the length of the client that you are working with. So here I have 56 inches and I added extra 2 inches, making it 58 inches. That should be the hem tool for me to use it to hem the down part. Okay, so the next thing is to mark out our shoulder line, and the shoulder I'm working here is 17 inches into 2 to give us 8.5 inches. Okay, 8.5 inches. So remember I said that this will be having a pleat at the shoulder. Okay, so what I have to do is to determine my neckline, and the neckline I'll be working with here is 3.5 inches. Okay, so 3.5, and at the shoulder line this is 17.5. At the shoulder, sorry, is where I'll be making my pleat. So at this shoulder now you determine how you want the pleats to be, how bold you want the pleats to be, whether you want the bolt to be 4 inches or 3 inches. So I wouldn't want this one to be that too bogus, because you know that anything that you use to fold it will be the allowance that the clothes will have at the down part of the clothes. So here I'll be making use of 6 inches. So I'll mark my 6 inches. So I'll be folding this by 3 inches. Okay, I'll use these 3 inches to fold it. So we have my boldness of 3 inches. Okay, let me come back again so that it will be clear. Here I'll mark my neckline, which is 3.5, and I will mark my shoulder length, which is 8.5. So from this 8.5 now I will determine how wide I want the pleat to be. So I'll be making use of 6 inches. So the pleat will be 3 inches bold. Okay, because I'm going to fold this using the center part, which is the 3 inches. So I will use the rest as my sleeve, and this is 9 inches. So this is not that bold enough, so I'm going to be attaching this satin. Okay, this here I have my doll face satin of yellow inches of yellow. This yellow brother satin is what I'll be using to do my turning. So I will just use this now to include at this hemline. Okay, to maybe 2 inches to extend this to 11 inches. Okay, so I'll just go ahead now to mark my neckline. At the back I'll be marking 1 inches, and at my front I'll be making use of 8 inches. So I'm going to connect this way. Okay, so coming to this 8 inches now, I'll be taking away the front piece. So here you determine how bold you want this to be. Okay, so look at the picture at your screen, you will see exactly what we are trying to achieve. So I'll also use this to replace whatever thing that I take away at the front piece. So I'll use this now to take it back. So here I'll be taking away 1.5 inches. So when I open it up, it will be 3 inches. Okay, so 1.5 inches. I'll mark this 1.5 inches like so. Then I'll make my connection from this neckline to this 1.5 inches like this. Okay, so after having done this now, I will just go ahead to mark this 1.5 inches from this part now down to my hem line. Okay, I'll just mark this down to my hem line. So I'll just mark 1.5 inches all through. I'll go ahead and connect this with a straight line and cut it out. So I've marked this line down to the hem line of my dress, but before I do any cut, I have to separate the back from the front so that I won't cut out back and front together. So I'll just take away my neckline for the back. Okay, I'll take away the neckline for the back. And I also forgot to tell you that this dress will be having a belt, okay, an inner belt here. So I'll be showing you how to attach the inner belt. So I'll just go ahead now to separate this. I'll separate the back from the front, so I'll be able to cut out the front piece. I can go ahead to make my notch at this part, okay, so that it will guide me, because right now I don't have light. So you can also use your iron to iron this so that it will just wrap up, okay, to serve as a guide where the center part is. Okay, so after separating it, I have this. So I'll just go ahead now to cut this out. Okay, so this is it. So I'll just go ahead and I go ahead to notch out this my center back. Okay, so I'll just go ahead now and use this my satin to cut out back this which I have cut out. Remember, this is 1.5 inches, so when I'm cutting, I'll cut 2 inches. Okay, that when I open it up, it will be 4 inches, because I'll be using the half to do my joining of those sides. Okay, so I'll just go ahead now and take my measurements round, starting from those points now, starting from those center back. I'll just measure this round. Okay, so what I have here is 12 inches. So this is where my neck piece will end. So I'll just go ahead and cut this out, iron it, then I'll come back and show you how I will be attaching this to those parts. Okay, sorry, before you separate this to cut out the front neckline and the one you cut out for the front part, do well to mark out your bodies. Okay, so remember that our measurements, it's here, which is the extra 6 inches that we mark for the pleat. Okay, so I'll just go ahead now. I'm going to place my half length, which is 17. My half length is 18 inches. Then my hip line of 9 inches. I'm going to make a straight line here. Then at those points, I will mark my sleeve length. So here I want the sleeve to be a little bit free, so I'll be using 11 inches. I'll be making use of 11 inches. Then here I'll make a straight line here. So whatever thing I have here, I will bring it down here. Okay, you can go ahead and add the highest, make use of your highest body measurements. Okay, you can make use of your highest body measurement. Like here I have 48 inches. When I divided it by 4, I'll be having 12 inches. So I can just decide to place that 12 inches, and I will add my 6 inches Okay, I add my 6 inches. Then when I do it, you notice that this cloth will be much, okay, of allowance, and I don't want that. So I'll just be making use of what I have here down. Okay, so here I'll just take from those 6 inches down to my hem line. Okay, this is of 2 type. If this is not enough for you, because when I check back what I have here, my highest body measurement is the waist, okay, and when divided by 4, I'll be having 12 inches. So what I have here is extra 2 inches. But if you feel that the 2 inches is not enough of what you want, you can decide to add extra inches to it, then connect your armhole down to your hem line. So those 2 inches, I think it's okay for me, but I can still just make it to be 3 inches so that it will be a little big free. And remember, I said I'll be adding a belt to it, so when the person ties the belt at the front part, it would still give fitting at the front part, while the back will be a kind of a buobuo. Okay, so I'll be making use of extra 1 inches, making it 15 inches. So I'll just use this 15 inches now. I'll just mark this 15 inches down to my hem line. So I'll just connect my armhole. Okay, you can just from this point now come out like so with 1.5 inches, then from like this connect to your waistline. Okay, so that you will get your sleeve line measurement. So from this part now, I'll just mark this straight down to my hem line. So it's just as simple as that. So I'll go ahead now and cut this out, then proceed to cut out my satin, which we'll be using for the facing of the front. Okay, so I've gone ahead to attach my satin at the sleeve part. So I'll just proceed to attach this. I've cut out my 2 inches long, and I measured from this center part now to the hem line, and I have 62. Okay, so times 2 will give me 126. Okay, but I have here 130 long. I usually make it to be longer. So the next thing I have to do now is to measure here. The next thing I have to do is to determine what I want, where I want my slit to start from, where I want it to end. Okay, so remember we added 2 inches, so I'm going to be excluding that 2 inches because of the folding, so not to affect the slit that I want to measure. Okay, so I'm going to exclude that. I'll measure the 2 inches. So I want my slit to be like 15 inches. You are free to extend it up if you wish, but I think this 15 inches is okay, so to allow the freeness of the movement of the legs. So I'm making those 15 inches slits at the front piece. So from here now, I'm going to measure till this part. Okay, or you can from the neckline take your measurements round your neckline this way. Take your measurements round the neckline to where your neckline ends, and here my ends at this point, which is 12.25. So I'm going to get the midpoint of this. I'm going to get the midpoint of this my fabric. Then I'm going to measure this 12.25. Sorry, I'm going to measure this 12.25, starting from this midpoint. I've notched it already to guide me. So I'm going to measure this 12.25, which is here. So I'll go ahead and notch this out. I'll go ahead and notch this out. Okay, so from this point now, I can proceed to take my measurements. I'll measure out from this point now. from this neckline point here. Okay, I'll measure from those points down to these 15 inches that we took here, up down to this 15 inches, and I have 33 inches. So I'll come back to this my satin. This is the midpoint, and this is the 12.25 that we measured. So from this 12.25 now, I'm going to take my measurement back from this 12.25. I'll measure down 33 inches. Okay, I'll measure 33 inches. So I'll take my measurement from this neckline, which is 12.25. I'll take it down to measure back my 33 inches, which is from here to this point, 33 inches. So I'm going to notch out this 33 inches. Okay, so I'll proceed now to my machine. I'll open this up this way. And I'm going to open up this one this way. Then I will fix them together like so. Okay, I'll fix them together like this. Make sure that the two notched parts meet each other. So I'm going to start my stitch at the center part. I'll run my stitch from this center part. I'll open it up to this 33 inches. So I'll run my stitches at the center point, reaching to this 33 inches that we measured here. Okay, I will sew to this part, then I will open it up and it will give me something like this. It will now be joined together like so. Then I will attach this side to one side of the dress and this other side to one side of the dress. Then I'll also do that to the neckline. Okay, this will be like this. I'll open this out like this and I'll have something like this. So I will start this point, this notch point. I will start my joining from this notch point here. I'll fix it this way and I'm going to sew it like so. Okay, and I'll run my stitches to the hemline and I will do the same thing to the other side, and that will be all. So I'll go to the machine now and do that, after which I will now use 1 inch to join my sides. Okay, I'll use 1 inch to join my side. Feel free to attach your pocket if you wish to. Okay, just attach your pocket. Then after joining all this, I will now come back now to place back those 6 inches that we made initially at the shoulder part. Then fold it and run our stitches. So let's just take it one step at a time. So let me just go and run this, then turn the sides, then I will come back, or maybe I'll just fix this. I'll come back to do the shoulder, then we will go ahead to insert our belt. Remember I said this dress will be having an inner belt, so I'll go ahead and teach you how to insert your inner belt before closing the sides. Okay, so I've attached this center piece. Okay, so I'll just go back now to put back my shoulder line measurements. So from this midpoint that I notched here at the center back, I'll take my shoulder measurement of 8.5 inches. Then from this 8.5 inches, I'll mark my 6 inches. Remember the 6 inches we added for the pleat. So I'll mark my 6 inches here, 6 inches, and I'll mark the midpoint, which is 3 inches. So from these 3 inches now, I'll mark 4 inches down. Okay, I'll mark 4 inches down, and I'll do that also at the back piece. From the center, this 3 inches, I'm going to mark my 4 inches. I'll measure 4 inches here and I'll mark it. Okay, and I'll do the same thing at this other side. So from this center, I'll mark my 8.5 here, and I'm going to mark my 6 inches here. From this, I'll get my 6 inches, then I'll get the pleat point, which is 3 inches. So from these 3 inches, I'll mark 4 inches down, and I'll do the same thing at the back also. From here, I'll get my 4 inches and I'll mark it downwards. Okay, make sure when you are marking it that it is straight. So I'll mark my 4 inches. So I'll go ahead and open up this now. I'm going to open up this now, and I'll fold in. I'll hold up this for 4 inches here that I marked, and this is it. You can go ahead and use your iron to iron this out. Just now, I'll hold this way. Okay. This will serve me as the midpoint to guide me properly. So you can go ahead and use your iron to iron this. Then I will proceed to go back to those 3 inches that we marked here first. Then from this, I will come down by 4 inches. Then from the midpoint again, I will come down by 4 inches. So I'll run my stitch now from this part. I'll run my stitch now from this part. Now, just with a straight line. Okay, from those 4 inches to this 4 inches. Then I'll do the same thing at the other side. So this is the midpoint, and this, okay, so from here to here is 3 inches. So you just hold it up like this and make your stitch, so that's the, after that the effect will be like this. Okay, and this will be your sleeve. Okay, so having done this now, let's proceed on adding our belts at the front part. Okay, so this now, let me just mark a line here to serve as a guide. This here is our shoulder line. So from this shoulder line now, I'll proceed to mark my half length, which is 18 inches. I'll mark my half length, which is 18 inches here. Okay, then my waist measurement that I'm working with. The waist measurement is 42 inches divided by 4 to give us 10.5. So from this point now, I'm going to mark my 10.5, which is here. So this now is our half length measurement. Okay, so I'm going to attach my belts at this point, and I'll mark the same thing at this other side, and I'll attach my belt, so that when you put it on and tie it at the back, it will give a very flat shape at the waistline. Okay, thereby giving a shape at the line, while the back will be free. So you tie it at the inner part of your dress. Just tie it across to the back. Okay, at the back is where you are going to tie the belt. From the front you drag to the back, just as normal as you tie your usual belt. But the difference is that the other ones we know it's outside, while this is inside. As you can see, we are marking this at the inner part of the dress, but at the front side. So I'll proceed now and attach my belt this way. Okay, I'll be attaching it this way, so that you can flip it like this and tie. Okay, and I'll do the same thing at this side. After that, I will use 1 inch to shape the both sides, and that will be all. I'll come the down part and I'll come back to show you the result. Okay, I've fixed up the belt. This is it. Okay, and this is the second one. Now I'll also go ahead to make my pleats at the shoulder part. Okay, so this is the pleats at the shoulder. So thank you so much for watching till the end. We will meet in my next class. Like I said, you can make yours more bigger. Just add extra allowance to the sides, okay, so that your own will be bigger than this. But thank you so much for watching till the end. Till we meet in my next class. Love you all. Bye.